Yep, I'm still alive and actually making a video. It's an update video, but regardless, I made something. Hey guys, I know it's been a long time since I posted anything on this channel, but I would like to kind of talk to you a little bit about what's kind of going on with. I had a whole bunch of ideas in my head about how I wanted to start this video. I have creative things that go through my head all the time, but I don't have the artistic talent in order to A, do the art required for it, B, even the editing chops in order to make it work the way I want it to. So at the end of the day, instead of hemming and hawing and going back and forth and pushing it off and pushing it off, pushing it off, as you can see by that comment, pushing it off for 2 weeks plus, I just decided to make the video and then spent the last 10 minutes writing down bullet point notes so that I knew what I was going to say because, again, I'm putting things off. You see my problem here. So anyway, what have I been up to since... Yeah, it's been... What have I been up to? I have been playing some other games. I've been working on other aspects of life. I've been working a lot more. I haven't had as much of the time to put into making videos as I would like. And that's not really the only thing. I just really haven't felt like replaying a lot of games. And that's primarily where a lot of the content on this channel comes from me replaying games that I'd played in the past. And like a lot of the newer games that I played, like I polished off all 3 of the newer Tomb Raider games. It's not a game that I'm going to do a Let's Play. There was an ActRaiser of all games remake, and it's actually kind of decent. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just kind of okay. But the original ActRaiser was such a cool concept. That is a game I could have seen myself doing a Let's Play on, and I believe I actually, if I remember correctly, I think I actually got all the trophies for that one and completed it. But it's not real. Actually, you know what? I did do that. I did that Let's Play a long time ago. I probably deleted that Let's Play. It's so long since I did it. But yeah, I've played some more of the Z-Boy games, and if you haven't played those, you absolutely need to play them. They're these small little RPGs that have a great sense of humor, and they are the company that came up with Breath of Death, which is a game I have Let's Played on the channel, and Cthulhu Saves the World, which is probably one of their more well-known titles. They've also done Cosmic Star Heroine. Heroine, pronunciation's still hard. It doesn't matter what year it is when I make it. But yeah, I played a bunch of like smaller games. Basically, you know, like I was working on different things. Like I was working on video games. I've been trying to learn to cook a little more because I basically made like 3 things, and that was the extent of what I would cook. So I've been trying to learn little bits here and there. I've been, like I said, working more. Had actually had the idea to make this video over a month ago, and then I spent about a month doing basically 2 jobs at the same time. So I get up, go to work, come home, work out, go back to work, and then get home at like 9 o'clock, eat dinner, go to bed, and start all over again. And that's basically been my last week. I decided to celebrate it by going camping, where I got eaten alive by mosquitoes and scratched the hell out of my legs, and oh man, it was brutal. I haven't had mosquitoes eaten alive that much in a long time. I'm in full train of consciousness, getting way off topic, which again is probably why it's a good idea I wrote down notes. Anyway, I had other plans for different Let's Plays for this channel that I wanted to do. Shadow Hearts 3. I wanted to like that game. I played it. I hated it. I didn't like any of the characters. They weren't interesting. The appeal for that series for me, even though I loved Joachim in Shadow Hearts Covenant and his form of comedy, all of Shadow Hearts 3 is just bad comedy. And I don't care for any of the characters. It doesn't continue Yuri's story in any sense. So by the time I finished it, I wanted it to go away. And I wrote a very, and And I find I've been doing this since I stopped doing Let's Plays. I write these little reviews, and then in very rare cases do I even share them. They're just things I post on my Steam page whenever I finish a game. It allows me to get all my thoughts out on the game and then go, okay, that's it. The game's done. I don't need to think about it. So that's kind of what I did with Shadow Hearts 3. And to avoid making a very negative Let's Play about a game I didn't enjoy, I decided that I was just going to cut that from being a potential game that I would Let's Play. So I decided last year I was going to play Star Ocean Last Hope. Everyone has been asking me to do this Let's Play for a long time. I kept putting it off because Star Ocean games are massive and they take forever to do everything in. And then I played it. And I absolutely hated it. It was as bad, if not worse, than Shadow Hearts 3 for me. It came across as fan fiction. And I've had people have said that they absolutely adore the game. I don't understand it. Like, you're welcome to like whatever you like. Fine, whatever, no big deal. I just don't understand. It, like, you start the game, and this was the case for me. Start the game, and you're given almost no backstory. You're thrown right into kind of your first dungeon. And there are games that have done that. Final Fantasy VII has done that. You just jump right into it. But there's a sense of urgency involved. You know what you're doing right off the bat. I don't even know why we're going into space. I don't know anything about these characters. I don't, like, even in Final Fantasy VII, you learn something about these characters right away. In Star Ocean 4, throughout most of the game, you don't learn much about the characters. They're flat as paper and they don't grow. But anyway, I could rant on it forever. I'm not going to just sit there and pick apart a game that I didn't like, because, again, that's why I'm not doing a Let's Play of Star Ocean Last Hope. It's a game that felt like fan fiction to me more than anything else, and because of that, I put it to bed. Wasn't going to play that. So then I decided, okay, Rebirth is coming out. I did a Let's Play of Remake. Let's think about that. And so what I ended up doing was I bought Crisis Core. I'd never played Crisis Core. I played Crisis Core and I didn't really enjoy it. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't anything special. I got to the end of the game. I'd done about 50% of the side missions and had absolutely no interest in completing any of the other ones. And that's kind of part and parcel to why I decided I didn't really want to do a Let's Play in the same way for Rebirth as I did for Remake, because I had to record those directly off of my console and upload them directly. They were basically live streamed, and they didn't give me the chance to do editing and to learn about the game, because a lot of the time with the completed nature of a lot of my Let's Plays, I try and explain a whole lot of the aspects of the game, the combat, the story, you know, thematic things about the narrative itself, whatever, right? Analyzing the music, whatever I can do, whatever I can think of to bring something new and something unique to my version of the Let's Play as opposed to anyone else's. Well, when I realized that Rebirth was going to be open world and that I am very, very slow at that type of content, because I like to go into the fine details and run around and make sure I don't miss anything, and then of course still miss things, but the aim is to go around and find everything. My initial playthrough of Final Fantasy Rebirth to the end of the story on normal mode was 174 hours. I did not want to make 174 videos because I don't even know how the whole system of recording and uploading content is on PS5. I know on PS4 we were limited to 1 hour chunks, and just the mind-numbing nature of certain aspects of the exploration of an open world like situation that you have with Rebirth is it wouldn't have made for a very entertaining series. So I decided to play that game all on my own, and it was probably for the better. You do not want to hear the amount of cuss words as I went for platinum on that sumbitch. and did Bonds of Friendship and all these other challenges, I've actually got to the point by the time I got to the end where I was so burnt out that when I got platinum, I had to put the game to bed and go, I'm not going to play it for a while. And I haven't gone back to it since. I've had some other games to kind of keep my attention. Stellar Blade is kind of an action. I don't know. People have said it's kind of like a Souls-like and not like a Souls-like. I'm not really interested usually in that type of game. But from what I was able to glean from the demo, it seemed interesting enough that I was intrigued by the concept, and I bought it and I played it and I enjoyed it quite a bit. The story's not great, the voice acting's not great, but the atmosphere created by kind of the setting that the world takes place in, the music and the combat makes it a very enjoyable game to play. And even though there were bosses that I would struggle with, nothing on the level of like certain challenges in Combat Simulator in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but there was like bosses that took me an hour and a half or even 2 hours, and some that I was able to take out on my first attempt. It just kind of depended on how I came into the fight, I guess, whether I was ready and whether I got lucky with a few blocks early on. But yeah, I've been playing through that and I've been enjoying that. I even platinumed that one. I think I put over 100 hours in, and I didn't think I'd put that many in, but I enjoyed it. Up until Rebirth and Stellar Blade, I hadn't really done 100 completion on much of anything. Crisis Core, I didn't finish. I finished the story, but I never went back and got 100%. Shadow Hearts, I finished the main story. I didn't pay attention if there was anything extra after that because I was so done with the game at that point. Same with Star Ocean 4. I didn't even, I turned the game on and wandered around after I beat the boss to see if there was anything. I think it was looking for like a warp to warp me out, and it either was there or it wasn't. Either way, I had no real interest in going into any side dungeons. So I put that game to bed. That was done with. And I was wondering up until Rebirth whether I still was interested in that 100% completion thing that I would always do with my Let's Plays. Well, a few months ago, I found it. And again, it's a game I played many years ago, probably 15 years ago or more. And, well, I was interested enough in replaying it, I was interested enough in sharing it, that I decided I was going to make this. Which means when I can start recording it, assuming I don't get overwhelmed by too much work again, which is leveled off for the moment, there will be a new Let's Play on this channel shortly. And that game is a game that has come up before on this channel as something I would like to play, but something I never got around to doing. It's a game that, well, Rogue Galaxy, and yeah, sadly, I'm gonna put like a thing over top of that so you don't see the flashing. This kind of leads me into what I've been doing with all of my notes for this. There is a lot to this game in terms of emulating it that is a lot different than some of the other ones I've had to deal with in the past. Ah, look at that. The flashing finally goes away. That flashing is the result of one of the mods I've added to the PS2 version of this game. That's a 60 FPS patch. I have never bothered playing around with it because with most RPGs, you don't really have to. But in this case, Rogue Galaxy is an action RPG. And in terms of how the game plays without the 60 FPS patch, it does not look very good. It has not aged very well, it's clunky, and very hard to play. So when I started my test run, I decided I was going to go straight for the 60 FPS patch. Uh, there was a weird thing that happened.
An eternal voyage through the murky blackness, sprinkled with billions of points of light, each with its own history, written there in the dark. This is a story inscribed upon one such point of light. A story of heroes.
Yeah, there was an issue with the widescreen patch that I would normally apply. It seemed like it was applying it twice, or one of the more recent updates I got to my emulator decided it was going to like build the widescreen in, and then I like added it on top of that. It was moving certain elements in the way when I was actually playing the game. So I've had to back off somewhat on the widescreen patch. Like, I've actually taken widescreen patches off, but it still runs in widescreen. I'm not exactly sure why it does what it does, but I've managed to get it so it's not overwhelming all of the other stuff that I was trying to get working on the screen. And the way I have it set now, I think it looks good. I am going to be running it on hardware mode with upscaling, so it's going to look a lot better than the original version. There are a couple of minor bugs from all of the mods, but they're not really a huge deal and they don't last a long time. So we'll talk about it when we get to them. But yeah, I would like to show you guys what we are going to be getting into when we start this Let's Play proper, which will probably happen in a couple of weeks after I get a chance to kind of build things up. As you might be able to hear, there's some differences in the audio of this video. Hopefully the video is also still good, but let me know if there's any issues as it is. I think I've gotten everything kind of dialed in a way that works a lot better than it did before. And hopefully that's going to allow me to run the air conditioner while I'm recording without too many issues. The new settings that I've got seem to work a lot better, and they've balanced my voice a lot so that it doesn't drop out. There's a couple of spots where my audio would drop out if I spoke a little too quietly. I think I've got that all fixed now. But anyway, let me know what you think of the audio. Let me know what you think of Rogue Galaxy as a Let's Play. And yeah, I don't have anything test run beyond this at the moment, but there are other games that I do want to get into given motivation and given time. So it's not a full-time return to videos, constantly for years on end, but I'm definitely going to be doing this, and we'll see where it leads. So anyway, that's pretty much all for this one. See you guys next time.